this thing on?
The red light's on.
Yeah, we're in the red light district.
It's kind of dim down here too. It would be
It
like
is.
a red light district.
Yeah, we can really stir the economy with something like that.
Well, it's not gonna stir itself now, is it?
That's true. Well, we are back. It's Ed and Chris talking about delicious wines from all around the world, and we love seeing you. Well, we love you seeing us, maybe.
Well, we're still, we know what they look
We know
like.
you're out there. We just know it. We feel it in our bones. We appreciate all the support over this time of quarantine and self-quarantine. Things are slowly getting better, but they're not all better yet.
Feels better though.
It feels better.
Even though it's not.
We're inching along.
If you read, it's not getting better, but it feels better here in town. I mean, there's just a
Luckily, I
vibe.
can't read.
Well, that's helpful.
That's really helped the day.
But your finger painting's amazing.
Thank you. You still have them on your refrigerator, right?
Well, they're on the walls now.
Yeah.
We ran out of space.
Yeah.
You're a prolific producer of
Mhm.
finger paint.
Stick figures are my specialty. That and drinking wine. Well,
They go hand in hand.
We had a remarkable week last week. It was Mayberry Days. We saw an uptick, and this was the only festival that wasn't canceled this year, mainly because it's not really just like it's more of a series of events throughout the week.
Yeah, and it truly lasts all week.
Yeah.
I mean, we were seeing
Tuesday.
people Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday
so.
was very busy, Wednesday very busy, so on and so forth.
Surprisingly, Sunday, I came up here Sunday for a little bit, had to check on a few things. I guess people went home. I think that's one of the differences too in the
Mhm.
festivals is the other shorter festivals, Sundays, you see people everywhere.
Yeah.
Mayberry Days, everybody gone home. The town was dead on
yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
It was a great week for the economy for our little town. We are a tourist town, whether people realize that or not. And this COVID situation has really hurt us, and that's why it was a very important week for us, the whole town, I think.
Well, hopefully, the entirety of the town did well. But we certainly did, and it was a welcome,
Yeah.
maybe Saturday night, we had tired feet and backs
It hurt a
all
little
across
bit.
the board, but, that's the kind of tired you want. You don't want to be tired from frustration, you want to be tired from accomplishment. And certainly I felt like that was, it was our busiest a la carte week of the year.
Oh yeah, and the food
And,
was gorgeous. We had more compliments than I've ever heard, and I hear a lot of compliments, so that's really saying something.
Well, I thought the morale was up amongst the staff, and the customers were good. We didn't have any yahoos, giving anybody a hard time. That really helps. That really helps.
Yeah. Sorry about that extremely loud court, but it is actually a really nice court.
It's squeaky, that's for sure.
Squeaky clean, I like to say. Well, yeah, so in review, we had a great week. We're looking forward to another great week.
Thank you.
The weather's been spectacular.
Oh, it's glorious.
Like the lows are down in just below 50, highs around 70. I mean, how can you beat that?
This weekend's going to be even better. We're looking at mid 60s and low 40s.
Man.
That's good living right there. I know it's probably not for everyone, but
I'll take it.
It's my wheelhouse right
People
there.
with the extra insulation like it a little bit cooler, if you know what I mean.
Well, especially the restaurant gets hot.
Oh, yeah.
We're working.
No, we're
and
running around.
We're in front of multiple sources of heat, so that cool air, there's nothing better.
If you're referring to your temper, is that the hotness?
Well, it's more radiant than hot, I would say. It's,
Well,
we like you can't be the same all the time. You can't have everybody jumping around
That's
happy
right,
all the time,
yeah.
and
We
you
can't-
never
we gotta-
appreciate someone yelling at you.
beat them down. Beat them down. No, we've been
Keep coming back.
We've been running so smoothly without drama. It's awesome. I love it.
I love it too. I love it that the things we complain about are so insignificant. I love it when the staff hones in on some. I can't believe we have blue pencils.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
You're
That's
doing
the
something
worst
pretty
thing
good
in
when
life.
that's all they can find
Mhm.
to make a scene over instead of I hate you. That kind of thing. Which they probably do, but they don't talk about it as much as pencils.
Yeah, pencils are important around here for some reason.
Well, the color of them are.
Apparently. So as you can see, it's wine o'clock, so we better start to the drinking. So,
Did, Mama, what was a gift from your mom, wasn't
oh, this little guy?
it? Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's awesome.
Mom's always looking out for wine stuff. And congratulations to Terry and Joe. They just became proud homeowners in the Mount Airy area, so they
We
are.
are so blessed to have
Yeah,
them here.
we're
It's
gonna
be
we're gonna be helping them get their house in order over the next weeks and months, so that they can have a nice little split residency with Chicago.
what a upgrade to our lives and our community.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast. You know, we've had
It's
some.
not gonna be that much fun when we're pole sawing next week, but,
There's a lot.
when they're living here, we'll have
Yeah.
an upgrade, right?
But we need firewood anyway for
True enough.
the fire pit, so it's
True
gonna
enough.
work out
So
great.
everybody wins.
Yeah, we've lost a few of our favorite families to moving out of the area. So, we're trying to fill that void left by people like the Bowmans and the Adams that have moved on. And congratulations to them and their wonderful homes that they have. But it's nice to get some back. So we got.
It is nice to get some back, and
Yeah.
we're treated to Mike's presence every now and
Yeah,
then.
he does.
comes up for the
Yeah.
Shepherd's House stuff, so he always pops in to see us. But
Yeah.
I know the Adams are busy with all they have going on.
And I would be amiss if I didn't mention how busy the winery's been the last 2 weeks. It's been crazy. Tyler had brought in, I think it was close to 16 tons of white muscadine grapes 2 weeks ago, processed all that, fermentation, and then right after that, the very next week, another 16 tons of our red muscadine. So the place has smelled great. Our customers keep talking about
Yeah,
how great
it's
the place
been
smells because the restaurant's on the third floor and the perfume, the fragrance, yes.
The wafting of
It comes right up to the dining room, and that's and no additional charge.
No additional
we don't
charge.
charge extra for that.
And I'm sure you did, but Tyler's been bringing up some of that fresh pressed red.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
And not only is it a bumper crop in terms of yield, but the quality's outstanding. What a
Yeah.
great growing year it's been for.
It's great.
For-
Great to see that.
Well, and while we're talking about that, let's say a prayer for all of our people in California.
Mm.
Every night it's another winery burn.
Yeah.
We had a 3-star Michelin restaurant burn to the ground last night. I actually sent you a
Mhm.
little link last night they're keeping a chart of all the wineries that are burning to the ground, and they're adding to them every day.
It's
And it's
terrible.
the saddest thing that people
Yeah.
you're talking about farmhouses and chateaus from the 1800s and
Mhm.
1900s. I mean,
Yeah.
not just the wine aspect of it, but all that family tradition and
Well,
it's
those
just heartbreaking.
fires, that they've been, like in 15, 16, 17, 18, like all these massive fires, every year it's getting worse. But somehow they've evaded destruction of the wineries for the most part until this year. Now the wineries are really feeling it. And it's a true loss.
in 2018, I remember it was fascinating, and I don't remember the ergonomics of it, but they were doing all the drone shots of the wineries, and the vineyards acted as a natural barrier. And so the drones would be flying over the burnt areas, and you would just see all these pockets of lush green where the fire would come up, and it would split around the vineyards, and then go past the chateau, the vineyards, and come back in and form again.
Yeah.
And so you would see these just decimated areas with all these vineyards intact.
Yeah. Not
And
so
I don't know
lucky
what
this year. Yeah.
happened there, but maybe the speed of it.
It could have been. Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if it's the airflow, the way that,
Mhm.
again, I don't know the ergonomics, the science behind it, but a lot of things were spared. I noticed too that a lot of people were losing their crush pad buildings, but not their wine buildings. And
Right.
so I don't, maybe there's more help around, keeping the.
Probably.
But I saw one winery lost their entire library. I mean, they had wines in there that were from the 70s.
Yeah, that hurts a lot.
That hurts.
That's why we want to drink wine as often as possible, because you never know when that day comes
Never
when you're
know.
not going to be able to. And we're not promised tomorrow. Let's enjoy today. I'm glad we're here together tasting some wine. And we are going to keep all those Californian winemakers in our prayers. We're going to keep everybody in our prayers
Cheers.
to everybody's health. Let's start.
To your health, Santé.
Well, Sheffy,
Yum, yum.
this is a beauty. So what we have here is a Cab Franc. This is actually from the Chenin area. About 90% of this is from Chenin, but it's not 100% Chenin, so they can't call it Chenin. So it's just called Touraine, which is the broader region that Chenin is on. Now, we definitely have some folks, regulars that they love Loire Reds. So I would be, be falling down on my duties if we didn't touch base with this area periodically. And quite frankly, I've always been a fan of the Chenin region. This is just really, really pretty reds, elegant reds, I would say. They're not over the top. They have, like I said, a sense of elegance to them. They're silky. They are complex. And this is the region where Cabernet Sauvignon got started, mixing this grape with Sauvignon Blanc. This is where Cabernet Sauvignon started. So this is a very important region. They've been making wonderful wines for thousands of years, not hundreds of years. So Les Rochers, absolutely wonderful producer. This would be like an entry level. Certainly things go way up from here, but I think anything under $30 a drink is good. You've got to be really happy.
Well, France always has the next level for you.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good like that.
Mhm.
But it's a very clean wine. And we're really enjoying this. It's a perfect temperature.
Yeah, we're down in the barrel room, surrounded by cases and cases of Tyler's wine.
More on the way.
As he's palletizing, trying to be quiet while we're filming, but
Poor guy.
yeah. So really here, what you have, to me, certainly a presence of florality, whether it be violets or rose or what have you. A very floral wine, and floral on the palate as well.
Violet for sure. It's tremendous. Not really hibiscus like a lot of wines could be, but certainly rose petal. I get that a lot. It's delicious.
And what I love about Chenin is those tannins. They're just like this fine, dusty tannin
And
that
they linger.
Yeah.
If you, it's hard for me to, let it
Yeah.
sit because you
Yeah, you
But,
want to get down.
But
get
yeah,
in
they
there.
really, you get little butterflies there from the tannins.
And the beauty of this kind of soft but assertive tannins, it's kind of hard to explain that, and they're there, but they kind of sneak up on you.
They're on the side,
Mhm.
and a lot of times when you get a big tannin wine, it's all over. Your whole mouth goes numb. It's the back and the front. These are very gentle here on the chipmunk cheeks.
Yeah, they're absolutely wonderful. And because of that and this beautiful acidity, that makes it a wonderful food wine. And Chef, we're going to go to one of your old favorites, aren't we?
Not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this one. Beautiful country pate. So this isn't a single protein. So we've got multiple proteins in here. We have chorizo sausage. We have andouille sausage. We have pancetta bacon and rabbit.
Yes.
And some rabbit confit mixed in here. And these are rabbits from the eastern part of the state. Really excited about this pate. It's just got a lot of flavor. You're getting some pepper from the chorizo. You're getting some spice from the andouille. Put a little bit of citrus and egg there. With the fattiness, which rabbit is very lean, but it's not. That is not the driver of this pate. And you get the fat from the pancetta to combat the leanness. Even though the rabbit is confit, it still remains lean. So good balance on this as well. I'm just really excited about it. A lot of great flavors. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, we're slipping into
there's
chef.
some left for us.
Yeah, we're slipping into the chef season where we can get into some of those heartier dishes, and that's I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. And one of the things that changes in me is, I'm guilty sometimes of going, oh, what are we gonna do? I was working on this yesterday. You know, so I love
This was
it.
not-
I love a project.
This was not thrown together.
No, I love, you know, the little 3-day project when I'm already excited for everyone, and that's how it should be. So it's gonna be fun.
Yes, sir. So, you know, obviously this is a very complex dish that you have in your takeout box here, but keep in mind this wine would go with so many, you know, you look at the number of proteins he listed, those will all individually go great with this wine. I don't know how many people are gonna be preparing rabbit out there, but if you do, this wine goes great with rabbit.
Well, and again, your things that go together, grow together, go together. A rabbit is a huge staple of French cuisine.
Yep.
And every corner of France, you know, France is very diverse. People think it's all one thing. It's not.
Yeah.
You travel around the country of France, you're going to find multiple styles of cuisine, and there's always some things that bind it together. But a very diverse cuisine, surprisingly. But everywhere you go, rabbit. It's considered a noble protein, and so it's something that is always going to lend itself well. Now the preparations will change, so you'll see, you know, you'll see confit in the city, you'll see breaded fried mustard rabbit in the countryside, and you'll see, you know, pâtés in the wineries. You'll go all over the place, but they do love their rabbit. So
Me too.
it's a great medium to work with. Again, it's a lean meat, but that doesn't lack for flavor, which is rare. You know, you have to do a lot of work to most lean meats, and rabbit just has that. It's very distinctive. It's not a 4-legged chicken.
Right, yeah,
It's its
it's
own,
not,
it's its
that's
own
for
thing.
sure, yep, and that's a great description, for sure.
I can't think of. I've had the privilege, you and I, several times too, but I've had the privilege of dining in a lot of French restaurants, both in France and in French colonies and French restaurants in the States. And I order rabbit in some form or fashion almost every time, just because.
You know, as chefs, we're always gonna be looking for the kind of stuff that we're not gonna get elsewhere. So when we go to a restaurant and there's lamb or duck or goat or rabbit or snake or emu, we're gonna order it because I can get, you know, the other proteins just about anywhere. You know, I can get those on a taco truck.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I mean, I get
down the
beef,
street.
chicken, and tilapia off a taco truck. I don't need to
Please
go to.
don't get tilapia.
Of course I'm not, but I could get it if
You
I
could
wanted
if you
to.
wanted to.
But yeah, so we're a little bit more adventurous like that. Look at this cork show.
My goodness, is
That's,
that not perfect?
That is black as night. Beautiful,
Even.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
just it's perfectly
Yeah,
stained.
it looks like an ink
a
stamp.
stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put that on a letter and
Mm-hmm.
send it to the Queen.
So now we're going to move on to Médoc. Médoc is in Bordeaux. And Bordeaux, this will be on the right bank of the Gironde, the river that splits the Bordeaux into left bank, right bank.
Thank you.
The left bank and the right bank typically blend their wines, not exclusively, but most of the time. And typically on the left bank, you're going to have Cab heavy blends. And on the right bank, you're going to have Merlot heavy blends. So this is 70% Merlot, 30% Cab. And you have old vines here, which helps. You also in the northern part of Bordeaux, it's so you kind of get a little dual influence. You have because it kind of comes up to a point. You're getting closer to the Atlantic Ocean as you go up into the northern part of Bordeaux. The river's going to kind of lean over to the ocean. I mean, actually, it's going in that direction. But it's kind of like an estuary there, and so we have river influence, we have ocean influence. There's also a large forest there, so you get some kind of everything that grows together affects each other, and that's what terroir is. And terroir is important to Bordeaux, and Bordeaux has a lot of different regions because there is quite a bit of variance from the soil and just the growing conditions, the temperatures, the winds, the like I was talking about, the influence either from rivers or oceans. This actually has a little bit more clay. It has gravel and clay rather than just mostly gravel on the left bank. So they're something that, by the way, Merlot happens to love. It loves to have some clay. So all these regions are important. So we might as well just, go through every region.
Explore them.
Yeah, and enjoy them. And this is Medoc.
Well, and, I think you get in Bordeaux, it's a great thing. I mean, people talk about how large and diverse it is. And certainly Saint-Emilion and Margaux get all the headlines of Bordeaux. But the other two big regions really put out a lot of great wines that kind of fly under the quote-unquote press radar simply because, an inferior wine from Saint-Emilion or Margaux is going to get attention and price points when, the two younger brothers or sisters rather don't, command as much, and that's too bad. We need to, so many great things there.
It is really, the heartbeat of wine, in my opinion. It's right there in Bordeaux. I mean, all of France is just amazing. It's just, we were in the Loire here, and that region is so important and so freaking delicious. And just like all the other regions are, we got Chablis up there that we haven't really gotten into yet. And we've been all over Burgundy, but it's such a complex region in itself. We could spend months.
A decade on Burgundy and its spawn.
Yeah.
What fun.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep tasting and enjoying. I like to bring you the weird, the wacky, but sometimes we got to do the classics so that we understand why other things are wacky and weird, at least to us. You have to have a baseline. The classics are very important. They are the how can we judge something without a barometer?
Well, that's the thing. There is no funky stuff without the baseline. It's certainly, and we use a lot of music analogies, but you can't. You have to have a foundation, or it simply cannot be done. Now I know there may be people. There's a lot of people who say great musicians who can't read music or what have you, but that doesn't mean the fundamentals weren't there. The fundamentals are there, whether they went to a classical. You don't have to go to Juilliard.
It's going through their ear rather than
they were trained through their ear rather than through their eyes. But that doesn't mean they weren't trained through their ears, and so it's just simply. I don't want to say nothing's impossible. It is highly unlikely. Just wine is delicious.
How much of this could you drink?
Is that a bet? I don't like your chances, whatever the over/under is.
I gotta tell you, the weight of this is absolutely perfect. I love the weight of this wine.
Perfect is a great way to describe the weight on this.
That is just, it's.
It just sits just long enough, and
we got tons of fruit here. It's packed with black and red fruit, blue fruit. Unbelievable tannins here. There's like a cocoa. There's some toast. Very complex wine here. Very delicious. Drinking well above its price point.
well above.
Again, another under 30 wine, and very ageable, I would say.
That is really good. That is really good. I wasn't expecting it. I don't mean to say that. I wasn't expecting it to be this good.
There's also like the underripe plum in there.
Plum and nectarine, or
maybe even.
It's still smoky though. It's still got that Merlot smoke.
Yep. Absolutely.
Even with all that fruit, there's still some tobacco and smoke there. Strappy leather. It's got a lot going on there. Again, this is not something. It's very hard for me not to just keep drinking, but I'm trying to let it sit in between them. There's a lot happening in the glass there.
Texturally, that wine is just amazing to me. If I had to design in my mind a wine that I would this is where I'd want to start.
A little fire in this, like a visit from an old friend in this glass. How great is that?
Oh yeah, we're doing the classics today, Chef, and they are delicious.
Wonderful.
Leyden, beautiful chateau, relatively new, 2016, but the vines are very, very old. So just essentially a new run with you know,
Under new management.
a new perspective. And because of that, we can get a really good deal on it for now until they get their accolades, and then of course, like every other great wine, the price will go up. But let's enjoy it while we can. And you know, one of the things that we haven't done a lot of is Merlot. So although this has 30% Cabernet, I think Merlot is definitely driving the flavor profile here.
Absolutely, that is Merlot forward. You know, the cab scene is probably playing heavily into the weight of this.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Mhm.
really giving it
Yeah, I agree.
that really perfect weight to it. But the flavor profile is Merlot.
Mm-hmm.
No two ways about it.
Yeah, for someone that says they didn't like Merlot, if they said that, I would want to pour them this.
It's my least favorite of all the
grapes,
classic.
of Merlot.
Of the classic.
A lot of people feel that way.
And I don't mean that as I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not your first choice.
I've never
Yeah.
been I would like a Merlot.
You're a Grenache.
Very much so. Very much so. I love Cab Francs. I like
Yeah.
Cab Francs more than
Yeah.
Cab Sauvs.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, I don't dislike Merlot. It's just never gonna say, "Wait, where's our Merlots?" That's outrageous.
Mhm.
Drink that every day, all day.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so even if it's not your favorite variety, I think you're gonna fall in love with.
If more
This
Merlots tasted like this, it'd be a lot easier.
All right. Well, Chef, we've neglected to tell them what we're gonna have with this.
Oh, this is a pairing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Technically, I mean, I guess you could say it's a surprise.
Well, we're not afraid to surprise
Just figure
someone.
it. Just open up your bag and figure it out.
We got a great little treat for you with this here. We're doing a little carpetbagger. This is a grilled marinated portobello mushroom. We love portobellos for their meatiness, their sturdiness. It's a great, not only a standalone mushroom, but it's a great vehicle for other things to have with it because of its